Ready? 3, 2, 1. All right. Welcome back to Lady on the Street podcast. We are starting the new year off right, you guys. Today's guest is somebody who gives meaning to the phrase live out loud. You've probably seen him out and about all around San Antonio because he's literally everywhere all the time. And that's not a dig, though. That is actually a good thing because it's what his intention is: to be seen, to make an impact, and to showcase everything that's great about our city. One conversation with him will leave you feeling so inspired because he's truly an advocate for the Latino community, and I cannot forget to mention how bright his personality is. It's equal parts funny, charming, inviting, and full of big ideas. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Marc Anthony, not that one, to Lady on the Street podcast.
Yay! We're confetti. We're gonna add like a little effect to confetti.
I should have had one right, like a poof.
No, for real.
Okay, so we start every episode here talking about what we're drinking. This is like a spur of the moment drink.
Yeah, this is exactly my personality because people can ask me on the spot, like, what do you want? And I'm like, and I'll just sit there going through the whole collections of things. And then you're like, what exactly do you want? What drink do you want? And I was telling you, and I was like, I don't want nothing. I want water. I'm going to be pure and sane.
I know, water. I was like.
And then she got here. She's like, are you sure you don't want to drink? I was like, what about a hot chocolate? And I went with this most elaborate, complicated drink ever. And she made it. And I was like, that's so sweet.
I know. So we're having like a spiked hot chocolate. It's absolute vanilla with some Starbucks hot.
Mom, if you watch this is not spiked.
Oh, not spiked.
Even though I'm 24.
Cheers.
Yeah, that's good.
A little holiday feel, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I did because I originally wrote this thinking that we were going to have water, and I was like, okay, what is your go-to drink? Like, if you're out, what are you ordering?
Oh, like an actual drink?
Yeah, like if you're out at a bar, what are you drinking?
Oh, a frozen margarita.
A frozen margarita? Yeah.
Even though I'm like very careful on like sugar and calories.
Yeah.
Like, when it comes to a frozen margarita,
they don't count.
They don't count.
Yeah.
And I used to like, even I remember we'd go on vacation. I'm like, can I have a virgin margarita? I thought I was like on top of the world.
Oh, right.
Yeah, but then I discovered strawberry margaritas when I turned 21.
Yes.
And yeah.
Have you are you like a chamoy Rita kind of person?
You know what's crazy? I think before I cared about my health, I don't care. Like, yes, put everything. Yeah. Now I'm like, no, my stomach, my back, my acne. And so now I'm just like, as long as I have a margarita, frozen margarita in my hands.
Yeah. You're like, you don't need the extra calories.
Yeah, I'm like, wait, can we cuss on here? And like, I'm like, I don't effing play. Oh, I'll say effing. I don't play with like all of that. Just like one straight frozen margaritas. Don't give me it on ice. I'll be so upset.
Yeah, really?
I'm not picky. I swear I'm not. But when there's ice, I'm like, this is not what I meant.
That's so fun. I do love a margarita on the rocks, though. I think like the older I got, the less I liked frozen, and then just like. Margarita on the rocks is, I guess, because you can taste more of the alcohol.
Well, I think right now I can handle like the tolerance of like the coldness of it all. Mm-hmm. But I bet you like when you get older, you're like, oh, I need to bring my jacket.
Yeah,
so
you're
like, so now I have a frozen margarita, I better also have a jacket with me. Yeah.
No, well, so just recently I started having very specific, and my husband's like, who the hell are you? Because I'm like, I want a Lalo tequila with tonic and 3 limes.
Lalo specifically?
Lalo specifically. So yesterday we were out and they did not have Lalo there. So I had it with, I did Patron and then I did Casamigos with one. Casamigos is great. So
well, yeah, people are like, it's amazing.
It was so good. I've never had it. No. Oh my God. It's so good.
I'm like, yes.
Yeah. I know. I should have it here actually. But no, I just within the last couple of weeks. But yeah, yesterday was like 3 limes, no more, no less. And Andy's like, who are you? Right. Okay. So let's get started with like the easiest question, which you probably get asked all the time. But like, what's with the name Marc Anthony?
Like, what's the name?
Like, did your parents name you after the Marc Anthony?
No, I asked my mom and she's like, well, I was just thinking of different names. And I thought of Marc and then Anthony. And then as we got older, I mean, I just kept asking her, but what was the purpose? What's the meaning? Then she just said like, because of the singer.
Yeah.
But the weirdest response I've ever gotten was from a teacher in middle school. I forgot what her name was. She's my 6th grade teacher. I think that was a ghost. She's my 6th grade teacher. And she literally was like, oh, did they name you after that famous Greek god who like committed like died like on the throne and got his head chopped off? I'm like, yes. I'm like, my parents didn't even finish high school. I'm pretty sure they weren't reading those books about those gods.
You're like, that's exactly it.
Yeah. They knew that. That's exactly who was after.
That's hilarious.
She wasn't Latina, as you could tell.
I know, right?
I don't think
You're
a
like,
Latina would get that response.
You're like, yeah, I'm Greek.
Yeah. Could you see it in my nose?
No, so just a little background. We met just a couple weeks ago, actually, and you like literally capture people's attention.
Yeah.
Have you always been vivacious and vibrant and like the life of the party?
Yes, and sometimes I try to tone it down.
Really?
Well, I try not to tone it down. I just also have to realize, like, I try not to not make it everything about me, but it's just my personality. I've realized that some people, and I've noticed over the time that I'm trying to respect other people's boundaries in environments like that. Because that event that we were at, it was AJ's event, and I was like, I can't make it a Marc event. Because if it was a Marc event, I'll be like, and the thing is, a Marc event is just being me,
Yeah.
But no, yeah, I've always been like that. My mom told me she's
Will you do me a favor and pull this closer?
Yeah,
to
I can. Yeah. Oh my god. Okay, is that better? Oh my god, that's so much better.
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, my mom actually mentioned the story the other day. She's like, Marc, you've always been like that kid. You know what I mean? You always thought like you were also an adult. So what do you mean? She's like, the first day of school, got back and you left there crying when we dropped you off. You got back and I was like, how was your first day of school? And my mom said that I said, my first day of school was good. All the kids were good. We made sure that they had their snacks and meals, and we made sure that they like went to rest and everything. And yeah, everything was good. And the kids did really good. My mom's like, you are the kid. Like, and even the teacher even told her like he like helps us out. Like he literally thinks he's like one of the teachers. And I grew up still like that. Like throughout from elementary all the way to high school. Yeah. People knew that like Marc's the teacher's pet. But not because I was a teacher's pet. I just felt like I could never relate to my classmates. Really? Because I always spoke like an adult. Like, not because I was forcing myself to. It's just that I understood them a little better. You know what I mean? I don't know why.
You're like boss baby.
Yeah. No, I literally was. No, my mom was in this podcast. She'd be like that. Like, I never talked to myself as like I was the student and I was the teacher. Yeah, so that's crazy.
No, okay. So then, and just in side conversation right now, we learned, like, Andy, you tell me not to talk about high school, but how can I not? We went to the same high school just by chance, right?
Yeah. No.
Represent South San.
I didn't even know. I came into your house. I'm like, your house is so... Oh, no, we're not supposed to talk about
You can say it's fine.
Okay, but basically seeing what you've created for yourself and like the person you represent and like where you're at in life. Yeah. And then see the lifestyle you live. It's cool to know that. And then you told me that you come from my high school. I was like, oh, shoot. I could do it too. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, and so that's really cool. So that's, and I tell people all the time, people ask me for the best advice. I said, the best advice is for you to put time and effort into yourself. Yeah. And that's when the greatest work will come out, because when you influence your own self, that's when you'll see your efforts show for your worth. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I realized, don't do it out of spite. When you do things, do it out of care and passion, and everything will follow through. Yeah. And if it's forced, then it's not meant to be, you know? Right. So yeah. Mm-hmm. So, no, I love that. Yeah. Shout out. Once a bobcat, always a bobcat. Yeah, no, but, yeah, for sure. And I also get told this a lot too. People would always tell me like, you came from South San. Like, there's a stigma around South San. There really is. Yeah. There's an economic stigma. There's a racial stigma. There's opportunity stigma. And I've heard so many racist comments being in that high school. Not just me, even our sports industry and the what is it called? The extracurricular activities. Mm-hmm. The kids would travel and literally get like bullied for just being from the South Side. Yeah. From South Side. And I'm like, F that shit. Yeah. F that. No, and so literally I actually work super hard to help break the stigma and try to really create new narratives for us. And it was just really cool. I tell people all the time, without South Side, I would not be the person who I was. Because if I was in a situation where everything was perfect, then I wouldn't know what was problems to create solutions for them. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't be an activist or advocate for something if I didn't know that there was something wrong. Yeah. And also, it wasn't just me to know that there was something wrong. I had classmates of people that were also struggling, that felt the same, and like we just united to use our voices to work ourselves in the community to make it better. Yeah. No, well, I love that, and I do love to see that somebody from my community is doing such good work, and we have like such a big age gap, I feel. So I'm 35. Oh, I don't know. Can I ask your age? How old are you? I'm 35 too. I'm like, the hell you are. No, you're not. I know. Korean I'm like, damn, I'm old. No, I'm 24. So yeah, I just turned 24 September 22nd. Yeah. So, yeah. Also, I cannot taste alcohol. This is scary. Oops. Yeah, my shirt's gonna come off. I'm like, how'd that happen? No. But definitely, that's what's crazy is that. Look, hold on. Treasure. Oh my god, how did it break? I just bought this and this guy said it was from Turkey. It literally broke, and I just bought it today. That's sad.
Oh,
Um,
that's sad. Rest in peace.
but that's one thing. One thing is being in the spaces that we are, working a little faster than most people, and especially being young, being aware of like the what's happening in business that keeps people in poverty. It's crazy because I studied architecture and I studied zoning.
Yeah.
After I studied zoning, if you don't know what zoning is, I
Yeah.
always tell people learn zoning.
Yeah.
You're gonna realize why we're gentrified, why we're segregated,
Yeah.
why our economics zones are different,
Yeah.
and how literally even today, because of history, we're still like that. We still have certain communities.
It's built. It's ingrained in that community.
People open your eyes. Why is there so many diabetic clinics on the south side? Because they know exactly what they're doing. They're giving you the worst foods with the worst oils, and they're putting the people that are gonna take your money to cure the things that they know that they're putting there in place. You know what I mean? Yeah. I'm like, I remember when I grew up in the south side, I was like, oh my god, like cool, like we're all ghetto, like we're all poor, cool. Now I swear, when I was in high school, oh my god, there's a Mercedes, there's a Tesla in my neighborhood. Yeah. What? And then you started realizing everyone knew what was happening. They were profiting off of our the unhealthy lifestyles we were living that they infused. And every time I see another fast food place or another burger place, and people are like, I'm so excited. I'm like, oh my god, I don't think you understand how much your body is a temple. Yeah. And they're literally using us and taking advantage of us to keep us in poverty. I tell people all the time, the one thing that keeps you in poverty is your health, your mental health, your physical health, everything. If you don't feel good, you don't look good, or just not a good person, it has to start with your health. You know what I mean? It's crazy how much I feel. I can feel so depressed, I want to cry and like want to give up. I go running one time, I'm like, life's amazing. I can't wait to take on the world the next day. I'm like, let's open a restaurant. Like, it's crazy.
A healthy restaurant.
No, yeah. And that's the thing too, is that my main goal, I know my big goal. My big goal is to do something where it's only going to be on the south side first through a nonprofit where we can feed our community through an initiative that I'm kind of building in the back end, and I'm working on getting sponsorships for that. So it's gonna happen. I'm not even sweating it. So.
I love that.
But I want it to be fun. I want people not to, like some people I know, when I say like, oh, healthy, like, oh, I don't want it.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, yeah.
But healthy can be good. I think you just have to know how to like
kava.
Oh my god, drool. Love kava.
You know what's crazy?
And there's not one by me. No, I hate that.
No, and that's what I was gonna say. You know how far I have to drive to go get kava?
Yeah, how far? I probably drive like 40
I'm literally saying it's crazy to know that eating is a privilege.
Yeah.
My privilege, and people are like, are you privileged? I'll say yes, because I'm able to eat healthy, but I'm also able to travel to go eat healthy. It's like 26 minutes to the nearest kava from the south side.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Which one is the closest? The quarry?
The quarry.
Yeah.
Yeah. I could be out here talking for food.
I know, I'm like saying, but I tell Andy, I'm like, we should open a kava over here. I'm surprised there's not one, but
Oh, y'all want to open it together?
I tell him no, because he's like, you're the only one who likes kava.
No, I love kava. No,
I'm like, the line is out the door.
Wait, what's your order?
I just do the Greek salad, the Greek salad with the chicken and those pita chips.
So mine is, if I can like pretend like health isn't a thing, even though it's not even this bad, I do double lentils for double fiber to clean out my digestive system, because the more fiber, the more you're gonna poo poo. And then I do the grilled chicken, and then I do the hummus, tzatziki sauce, and the crazy feta. Yes. But these are like the little sauces, like the. And then I do double grilled chicken on a can if they don't charge me. I get away with it a lot.
With all your looks.
You know, I do. I'm like, I know. I have a little way that I do it. I shouldn't be saying this because I have a little system anyway.
Kava, we're on to you. Tell me, what's the face I have to make?
No, I'm like this. No, I always say, can I have?
You're gonna be like, ma'am, what's wrong with you?
So I start the conversation by asking them how their day's going, and then they're like, well, how's your day? I say, really good. I'm trying to focus on my health, and so I'm trying to just get more protein. And then so I'm like, I'm super excited. How's your day going? And then when we get to the protein, I'm like, yeah, it's just a good amount of protein. They're like, okay, I got you. And they always double stack it.
Well, because some of them will give like a tiny little spoonful, and I'm like, hey.
I'm like, I ain't a mouse. Yeah. I'm like, I'm Godzilla. So no, literally, so it's that, and then I ask for like the yogurt. Onion, the pickled onions, the coleslaw, the corn, the tomato and cucumber, the feta, the pickle, and the yogurt dill. I'm like, ooh. They're like, you want more? Good. You know how like when you go to Olive Garden and they're like that with the cheese? I'm like that with the yogurt dill, and they're like, do we stop now? I said, no, keep going. At the end of it, it looks like a mountain with snow on top. You don't even see the food anymore. It's crazy.
No, I do love kava. Now I want some. The cucumber mix, like, so good.
Kava, you're not paying us for this, so this is not sponsored. We should probably cut this out.
I know, right? I'm just gonna bleep the people are gonna wonder what.
If you like this part, Kava, we can give you an ad space for it, and we'll keep it.
You know where to find us at the quarry.
For real. Charging my car.
Okay. So Marc, you literally like are a jack of all trades. So I find it very interesting that For somebody who is so into communication and like the event space and being that type of creator that you studied architecture.
Yeah.
Where does that even come from? Like, what, I guess, what sparked your interest in that?
Well, what's crazy is I didn't realize that at a young age, but I always was like, I remember that I wanted to, I always remember they asked you, like, what's your dream life?
Hmm.
And I always created these crazy drawings and ideas of what I wanted. I can't even tell you. When someone said create your dream reality, I created my dream house.
Really?
And my dream house was crazy.
Yeah.
And then it's crazy as I got older, that stuff started coming. It was things that weren't even like real.
Hmm.
And I'm like, dang, dreaming as a kid is so amazing. That's why it's really powerful to like influence
Oh, yeah.
like kids' dreams, because
Hmm.
sometimes they can lose that. And my dream as a little kid was a living room, right, where the outside was outdoors were indoors. So basically, it was like concrete floors, concrete ceilings. And when you looked out, it was like a forest. And then you went into a basement, and it went from being a basement made out of concrete to a basement made out of glass. And then my living room was all glass, and it was underwater. So I'll be looking at fish like swim around me.
Look
Like,
at you.
no, and like I
Yeah.
had it drawn out, and like I remember there was one art teacher, she showed me a technique, and like it opened the doors tremendously because of the lines that she taught us how to use.
Oh,
So
yes.
people can draw houses, and it's like a 2D house, it's like beep beep, like, and you draw it, right? But when you can create a drawing for 3D spaces,
Yeah.
it allowed me to collaborate more on like what I thought my dream house can look like, because now there was more dimensions, and it's super
Yes.
simple. All you do is draw like a little rectangle in the middle, and then each corner you go to the corner of the paper, and it
Hmm.
makes it 3 dimensional. So then I started like I remember all the time when I got bored, I was always designing that. So now going forward, my tia is a huge asset in my life, and she's always been about our cultura, about presence of design. She would literally take me from the south side and literally drive me to places of opportunity.
Yeah.
You can be here one day. This is what you deserve. This is what this is about. This is a Victorian house. She would teach me everything about lifestyle. She even took me to King William. She's like, you can live here. I remember as
Yeah.
a little kid, like coming from the south side, I felt like I was going to Disney World when I went to the King William area. And I
Yeah.
literally is in my own city, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And
Hmm.
then as I got older, I started getting closer and closer to that area. And right now, I shouldn't say where I live, but
I know, but
I live downtown, like by kind of like the south side,
yeah.
what is it, Southtown.
Southtown area.
So
Yeah.
I'm like 4 minutes
You're
from
not
King
far from
Williams,
King William. Yeah.
but where I live is beautiful.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just like, yeah, I love. It's like an art museum. So I live in an
Yeah.
art museum. Yeah, it's really cool, and the
Oh.
ceilings are like 20 feet, right? It's pretty
Yeah.
cool. I really don't show my apartment a lot because I'm like, they're not paying
Well,
me.
yeah, yeah. I mean, but no, that's so
Yeah, I can go off the record.
sweet.
But yeah. So going back to the main question, because I can get off tangent.
Don't apologize.
Okay, yeah.
Okay?
I apologize a lot. Yeah.
Don't.
Yeah. So going back to the main question of why I studied architecture, as I got older, there was so much of a pressure of like, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
My brothers always told me like, stop pretending like you know what you're gonna do with your life. You don't know what you're gonna do. Like they knew that I was very ambitious,
Yeah.
but they knew I didn't know exactly how college worked. I
Mm-hmm.
remember I was in 12th grade not even knowing how college worked. What an undergraduate, what was the difference from a graduate and undergraduate program? I knew nothing. I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna have to fake it till I make it, until I get to those doors and figure out what college even means. And
Yeah.
I swear like I did.
Yeah.
And like my oldest brother, he went to college, and his wife, my sister-in-law,
Yeah.
they both went to college, and they were asking me questions that I was like, freak. And I never want to let them down. So I was pretending like I knew what they're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Even when I was in college, I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, so did you do this, that? Did you do the transfer? I'm like, yeah, I did. You know what I mean? And I always pretending. My brother's like, stop pretending. Like, what do you want to do?
He was on to you. Yeah.
And then so after I started realizing it, I wanted to go into middle school. I always told myself I wanted to be a host. I love Samsung so much. I wanted to be the host of the Samsung shows that they would have
Really?
in Seattle. I remember I would fantasize like one day being the spokesperson for like Samsung.
Yeah.
And then I had to realize like the people that speak are the ones that actually help design the phone.
Design.
So then I was like, okay, I want to do design. Like I love design, and so I would design products, and that's how that creative space got.
Yeah.
But then when I went to high school, didn't know what I wanted to do. Just knew I wanted to speak in front of people for technology. And then going to college, I started realizing, wait, why can't my hobbies be also my career? I never think.
Yeah.
Everyone tells you have to be a doctor or like something, a lawyer, in order to be successful. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And our parents would tell us that without even knowing the economic stance, the hardship of it, because they didn't finish
Yes.
high school. They just knew that they wanted more for us than what they were given.
Yeah.
So they thought if they told us other things that made other people successful, that would make us successful.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a stigma.
Yeah.
Because now going through college and now being in the industry and networking, I'm like, I shouldn't be saying this. Most people didn't finish college.
Yeah. A lot of people don't.
The biggest people I know did not finish
They
college.
don't. Yeah.
Steve Jobs.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I can keep going for days.
He's like,
Steve Jobs. So when they said that you could do architecture, and the thing is, I always, and that's the thing I told you about you too, when I go into space, you can ask anybody, they're like, what are you thinking about? And if I'm not talking, I'm redesigning your house. And again, I'm straightforward when it comes to that.
Yeah.
Not because I think it's better. I just start playing with what I've learned or what I've seen, or like, how can I play with the space? And if someone gave me an opportunity to create a space, like, it's amazing. So, it's crazy who's infused my passion even more? My mom.
Really?
Yeah, she literally would be like, she knew that I love design because my tia would come and like rearrange our house sometimes, or our tia would show us different things. Even my mom's like, wow, this is super nice. So then I wanted to like, I remember my mom would go to sleep, and my favorite thing to do was like, if our house was messy and like it just felt like ugly, my favorite thing to do was like, when they went to sleep, I would go downstairs and I would rearrange the whole house. Like, I would rearrange. My mom could tell you how many times I did it, and like, one time we had a table that was like thousands of pounds. I lifted it by myself just to change everything around. I even broke the concept of how you're supposed to live in your house. And my mom would leave the furniture like that. I would put our dining room table in our dining room table in the living room.
Yeah.
And I've always been about like design. I've always loved lights. I've always loved pyrotechnics. Everything when it came to like really like doing things that were out of pocket, kind of in a sense. It just made me feel like I was taking a risk, and it was always a creative risk.
And she would let it stay like that, like
well, that's not the only thing. So it started there. Yeah, and she would leave it there.
That kills me. My daughter does that sometimes, and I'm like, who rearranged these like vases or whatever? And she's just like, I'm like, Bailey.
Infuse that. I promise.
But yeah.
So that's the first, and that's how it first started. And then she started realizing that I started getting good at it. She's like, wait, what? She's like, I remember I would get stuff from everyone's room and rearrange everything. Like, I mean, I'd be like, oh, that doesn't. I would go throughout the whole house and change. She's like, I've never seen that ever in our house. Yeah. And it came from upstairs. But going back to even got so crazy that when it came to the community part, I always told my mom like every Christmas too, and I'm glad that it's like we're talking about this in the season. I know it's gonna be next year, but I'm like, why doesn't nobody have Christmas lights in our neighborhood? I never knew that we were poor. You know what I mean? Like, we were really poor. Like, I was telling you too, we like, we grew up on wheat and bread, but that's like, it's fine. It's not like I can handle it. I mean, we had some family
That was a hot dog. What are you talking about?
Yeah. No, but it was the butts of the bread. Yeah, that's a little different.
There's a different name
I'm like,
for that
be
too.
ass. I'm like, shit. I'm like, shit. That's coming later on in life. You know what I mean? That's how dry my tongues are dry. So then, and then but it's just really crazy. But yeah, I mean, again, yeah, that was just our lifetime. But one thing I tell people: value your family and who you have, because creates a new environment of what success is.
Yeah.
And we had a successful living lifestyle.
Yes.
And there was so much love. We didn't get our love through the amounts of money we had. It was through the amounts of love we had, but we didn't see our reality of how broke we were.
Well, yeah, like I went to high school in the South Side, but I grew up in Floresville in a mobile home. I didn't even know that like a mobile home was like a trailer, never. And I remember thinking like I would
that's a home.
Yeah, but I would be like, oh yeah, we live in a double wide, and I didn't know it was a trailer. I was like, no, it's a big house. But like, I'm like now thinking, and I'm like, oh shit, when it hits you that like, oh, we are poor. Like we were okay. I never knew we were poor. I can't say that I grew up like super poor, but in Floresville, there's definitely socioeconomic statuses that you can recognize, right? And so I remember going back to what you said about like everybody wants to be nurses and stuff, and all my friends in Floresville like knew they wanted to be RNs from the time we were in elementary, and I'm like, I was like, what's an RN?
But also, it's crazy, the success rate, and this tells you about this tells you about like the reality of it.
Yeah.
So many people fake it till they make it as an adult in college.
Yeah.
Because all of them are like, I did this dream job that I like worked for in college. You know what I mean? And 78% of them have a failure rate of finding the job. Right? I think the rate is like 71 to 78 that don't find the job that they literally went to school for.
Yes.
And it's either because two things: it's not what they wanted to do, and they didn't know how to tell people that that's not what they wanted to do, so they didn't want to seem like they were gonna fail, let someone down. So they just went through and faked it till they make it. Second is because our life and our country doesn't have as much opportunity as they say they do. You know what I mean?
It's really hard.
Or they say like, now you're overqualified. What is that? You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
No, I think it's really hard. If you do work in the industry that you studied for, you're very like fortunate.
Very fortunate.
Yeah, extremely. And I think that so many people do go to school now and end up in that situation. Like maybe there's just an oversaturation of people who are studying the same thing. I really don't know, but yeah, I totally understand what you're saying about that. And your case in point, right? Architecture, but like here you are in a creator space doing something completely different.
You know what's
almost
crazy? But I feel like I've been doing marketing, not knowing it was marketing this whole time.
Yeah.
My theater arts teacher, I mean, I can shout out all the people that were literally the ones that knew exactly who I was going to become and told me. Like my theater arts teacher, her name is Torres Aldana.
Yeah.
She was a Southside, my theater arts teacher. She's like, you're marketing, you're marketing, you're
Yeah.
marketing. Everything you're doing is marketing. And
Marketing.
I'm like, dude, architecture. She's like, yeah, but it's marketing.
It's
Like,
marketing.
she already knew, like, she's like, you're meant for marketing. And I was like,
Yeah.
oh, I don't think I am. Because I thought it meant like be behind the desk. And I love what I do because it literally is exactly what I was meant to do.
Yeah.
Like, I cannot say, not say I can't handle one job. I can't stay behind a desk representing just one thing. I want to represent multiple things, and I can choose who I represent. You know what I mean? And that's what's super cool about this. But there was more. I was gonna definitely say, what resources you have in these schools make a huge difference.
Yes.
One service that was in our high school was it was the college program, the career readiness program.
Yeah.
There's two. Miss Lucia, she was one of our teachers. She had a class specifically to get you prepared for college, applying to resumes, doing this, that. All without that class, I don't think I've ever applied to A&M University. I don't think because I didn't know how to apply. They don't prepare us for college.
No.
They prepare us to take tests. They don't prepare us for life. You know what I mean? That's like the real. I think 100%. I'm gonna tell you this. I had teachers DM me because they saw how much I would say exactly what I felt.
Yeah.
That they would literally tell me, Mark, fight for this, fight for this, fight for this, and educate me about it, and I would become their voice.
Yeah.
And people would start getting mad at me, like they were higher up. They're like, "Who's telling you this stuff?" And I was like, "Nobody, me." But they were telling me this stuff because teachers can't fight for themselves. It's against their contract.
I was gonna say because they get in trouble.
So I was the one fighting for them through my voice. A lot of it, and so I would say,
"There you go, being a teacher again."
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I even taught no, I'm not even lying. You think I'm lying? I had 3 teachers would tell me this is what's wrong, this is what's wrong with this, and I would like go out and say exactly what I thought we should change, and I'd advocate for it, or like school board meetings and different things. But not saying I was a puppet. I definitely believe them because I'm like, how are these people at this caliber and still struggling to like attain their realities? You know what I mean? And also, you definitely see that they know that they're worth more. And you also hear their backstories. You're like, oh, they didn't want to do this. You know what I mean? It's like they had to do this. You know. And also, they can't let kids down because at the end of the day, we all have the same morals to like be role models for our younger generation.
Yeah.
So I feel like the teaching community is a little like, it's like
it's rough.
It's so rough because they do it because they love the kids.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that's the biggest reward for teachers.
And I love my teachers.
It's definitely not financial because we know they don't get paid as well as they should.
Yeah, I mean, I can go on tangent. Oh, but going back to the resources, so we had Miss Lucia's program, and then in South End we had another program that even if you didn't have that class, there was a center where you can go to, and they would always make sure you had applied for your FAFSA.
Yeah.
And like, I think the Miss Lucia, that class, I think they actually were gonna like get rid of the class, but it was the most useful class I've ever been in my whole like school experience. And then going to college, my advisor, I had a couple different advisors as I changed my major, but I had one advisor. But literally, I could tell her exactly what was wrong. I'm failing this class, I'm failing that. No judgment, because she was Latina. She's like, I know exactly what you're going through, everything you're saying, and I did the things that I don't want you to do. Tell me exactly what's wrong. Tell me what you're failing. Tell me what's happening. Like, let's go. I'll get you into tutoring. I'll tell you how much it's going to cost to get outside tutoring. She's like, don't be scared to ask me the questions because I want to create your success. I messed up so many times academically because I'm not meant to be taught like online.
Yeah.
And I was taking online classes and I failed every online class.
Yeah.
On record. A&M, if you're watching this, like literally, you can look at my record. I didn't pass any online class.
Really?
My first year, COVID, imagine.
Oh,
my first college experience.
Yeah.
Don't say I was a COVID baby. I'm
gonna
fight you. I'm all paranoid. I'm like, COVID. Oh, so fun thing is, no, the truth though is that literally in high school, I was always like, everyone knew I was like, hi, like super happy.
Social.
Yeah, but no one knew that literally my senior year, I was the vice president representing the students right in our high school.
Like student council?
No. So I was president of student council.
Oh yeah.
But the class president.
Oh yeah,
I was the class vice president.
Yeah.
And so we're hosting all these events for the families to attend for their seniors. No one knew this whole time of my experience. My dad was having a stroke and was unconscious.
Oh my.
So literally, I would always have all these events for the parents to come out. And everyone's like, "Where's your parents, Mark?" And I'm like, my mom and dad are in the hospital. Hoping my dad comes back to life because he was like about to die. Like it was crazy. And I was like, no one knew that. And I was over here fighting for mental health. I never even talked to anybody about my mental health. Like I was like literally very hypocritical.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can talk for a lot. Forever.
No, you're good.
But yeah, going back to those other topics. Yep.
That's so. Yep.
Yep. We cut
So
that out. Yeah.
no,
No, keep it, keep it, keep it.
no, you're good. So I'm wondering then, you seem, because going back to even at AJ's event, you said something where you're like, I try not to make it about me, right? But like you're awesome.
Thank
Like
you so
don't, I
much.
feel like you walk on eggshells about how you are.
Yeah.
Why?
Huh?
Why? Don't like why do you apologize for just being yourself?
I don't know.
You don't
Uh,
know?
I
I'm
don't
just saying like lean
know.
into it. I think that's what people like about you is that
I think I try so hard to be the perfect person
yeah.
that I think I hear everyone's perception of like what they think a good person is,
Yeah.
and I think it's always about people's ego. And I definitely
Mm.
think with my environments that I'm in, and I've been around a lot of people that are egotistical,
Mhm.
and they fed off the money and their opportunity, where it doesn't seem humble. I know some models that like she was a model in our high school, and she literally would be very sweet, but also like what she said, not purposefully, it just sounded like she was being ugly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I know that in the space that I'm in, I can be like, oh, I'm having this event, that event, this. And when I talk about it, people are like, and I always now have to apologize to people. I'm like, oh my God, I'm not trying to say this because I think I'm better than you or this is the opportunity I have. That's just what I'm around. And so
Yeah.
now I apologize before I even speak because I don't want it to seem like I'm more than you. That's just
Oh,
this
I
is just my
see.
life. This is just my
Yeah.
reality. And yeah, I think I got in trouble the other day because this is bad. I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I missed the baby's event. My baby's birthday is not an event, Mark. And I'm like, oh my God, like I didn't mean to say an event, but like it's just because I always say an
Oh, they're
event.
looking for something to be offended
No, there's no,
by.
they're super sweet, but like
Yeah.
she's laughing. She's like, my baby's birthday party is not an event. I said, I'm sorry, I missed this event because it's not an event.
You're like, is there going to be another one sometime?
No, but they're so sweet. They understand, but I'm super excited.
Yeah.
Everyone knows that I'm super excited when I'm around. And if I ever say anything like, oh my God, I'm doing this or working with this person, like it's not because I'm like, oh, I'm working with this person, I'm doing this. Like it's more because I'm genuinely cannot believe that somebody like us is in this space. And then I never reflect a lot. And when I do reflect, usually when I'm running, I'm like, wow, we're fucking badass. Like,
Yeah.
how do we do that? You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
You
And
should be proud of
I
yourself. You're so
know.
young and you're like making all this shit
I know.
happen.
I didn't
And
even I'm like, how the hell did I do that? Like after I'm done doing it, I'm like, who the hell's believing me in this
if
much to
it's
give me this much power? People have given me so much power that I'm like, how did I get here? You know what I mean? Um, but yeah, going back to like, I remember you mentioned like that I'm like a jack of all trades. I don't know how. Like, I think everything I've gone through without knowing what mental health was, I would sing. I always admired like my family members. I
Mhm.
would sing people that sang. And I was like, I want to sing, so I would always be singing. I always got made fun of that. I always remember that music just made sense to me.
Yeah.
I remember that I love music so much and singing helped me get through so much when I was struggling academically because I got held back.
Yeah.
I never told anybody about my age for like my friends didn't even know that I got held back till 11th grade because I
Really?
always didn't want to feel less than them. So I
Yeah.
always worked really, really hard to be a person who can create opportunity. That's one thing
Yeah.
about me is that I saw how my other friends got treated because they got held back.
Yeah.
So literally, I never told anybody. Like my parents moved me from my that school because I was traumatized because I saw all my friends leave me and go to the next grade level at a young age.
Oh, yeah.
It was a small city. Everyone's like, "Oh, you got held back," and like I felt ugly. So she
Hmm.
noticed that, and so she moved me across the whole like we went from the country to the city.
That's why
And
that
then when we moved
happened.
to the city, I always was like on eggshells.
Yeah.
Not now that I'm realizing this, I was on eggshells just trying to be the best version of myself. And I try to make other people see that I was worth the opportunity because I knew I struggled academically,
Yeah.
with my spelling, with my writing. I was just so illiterate.
Look at
I
you
know. And
though.
so I told myself, and what's super cool, and I love this little Mark. Good job, you did this awesome.
Little Mark.
I literally, when I was in a junior high and I was comfortable to tell people my age, it was a big deal for me
Yeah.
because at the end of the day, I'm like, fuck that. Like I'm exactly the person I want to be and more. And
Yeah.
I am like there's nobody else I would want to be. I'm that fucking guy. Like I
Yeah.
did that. Like in a humble, non-humble way. I was like, I'm worth it.
Yeah.
Like and so I didn't need to fight to be like the opportunity. Like I created that opportunity for myself to feel that way. So
Yeah.
and if no one believed me if I was worth it or not, or smart enough to be there or capable, I looked back and I was like, no, we fucking did that shit. Like
Yeah.
I deserve everything that I worked for. And throughout my whole life, I've got bullied, I got criticized. It was I've gotten so much hate. You don't understand.
Really?
Yeah, and then when they put me in the creator space, the bullying and hate, it was always that I'm gay, that my smile's fake, that I'm too fake, my energy's fake, this is too curious. And it got to the point, and some kid I think at Texas State committed suicide. And exactly what happened to him
Hmm.
through social media,
Yeah.
because of Snapchat is exactly what happened to me.
Really?
And basically, the kid that just passed away, I think it was like 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Yes.
It's do you know what I'm talking about?
I remember
Did
the
you hear the
headline.
story? Like, why?
No.
He was in a Snapchat group chat with the whole university, and like he would just post about him singing.
Singing, yes,
Yeah.
I did see that.
Well, sorry.
Okay, so I scrolled through your social media and I went all the way back, and I want to say that it was like 2013 was when you joined IG, Insta.
Dang, she really went all the way back.
Well, and on
Did
there,
you see a photo of my elementary teacher like this?
You were
and have
so
my little,
little.
I was chunky. I have my little glasses like this. That they were the dark tinted ones, and I was like,
well, so this is very.
Look at me now, bitches.
Look at him now, your
No
little
glasses.
Instagram model. No, I did find that like super interesting because everybody that I've spoken to has been of my generation where we were a little bit older when social came around. But for you being 13, being on Instagram, like, and putting yourself out there because you were putting the videos of you singing and you have a great voice, by the way. I'm surprised you're not like pursuing that.
No, I am starting next year.
Well, yes, but like, but I mean, like already there because even I don't know, you have a great voice.
Thank you.
And so, like to be that little and like that young, I think what were you in 5th grade when you were posting those on Instagram?
Yeah, and I was making videos without knowing it was like a creative thing since like elementary.
This is crazy, and so
I've always loved it.
And people were rude to you about it, is what you're.
Everything I did, they were rude to me. I think of like every aspect they were rude to me. But it's crazy. I never let it get in the way.
Yeah.
Like I mean,
good.
Yeah, no. People were very rude to me. I mean, people would say stuff all the time, and the thing was weird. I never believed it.
Yeah.
And that's what's so cool. And I love it. Little Mark, you're badass for this. And I tell people this all the time. Even adults that are influencers now, literally, they've gotten divorced because of it, because of all the bullying and even the bullying from their own like partner or spouses. I tell people all the time, I'm fucking 24 years old and I'm barely figuring myself out. Yeah. How are you gonna tell somebody online you don't even tell you who you are when you're still figuring yourself out? Yeah. It took you that many years to know who you are and who the fuck that you're representing. Yeah. Why are you gonna let someone else tell you who that is? Yeah. Okay, I'm fat, so what? Yeah. And what's super cool about that, when I was obese and now that I got really skinny and fit, even though I'm a little thicker than I used to once was when I was like really, really fit. Yeah. You're fit. No. I know that I have it in me to literally get there again. You know what I mean? And that's what's really cool is that when you really work hard and get something that you want, and you might lose it, you always know that, hey, the opportunity was always there and you can get it again. Yeah. If you're just like driven enough. So if you want it bad enough, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. No, yeah, what you're saying, you're singing and then on my post and the. Yeah, I guess like what's your favorite genre to sing? Like if you were a singer, I guess I can't say a pop star. If you were a singer right now, what genre would it be? When I sing, even AJ can tell you, which is the friend behind the camera. Yeah. I sound country. Really? Now I sound country. With the video you heard me, it was very like poppy, Harry Styles. Yeah. If I sing now, it's very country. Really? I can sing Adele. It sounds country. Yeah. I sing songs and people are like, that was Adele, that was Katy Perry. It sounds very country. Yeah. But what I wish I can sing is like Benson Boone. I don't know what genre he is. Oh my god. You know Benson Boone? My kids are obsessed with his music. Yeah. They put it on Alexa. Mustache, but I love Benson Boone. I love how he looks. I love how fit he is. I love his vocal range. I love the rasp. And I have a rasp. I want it to come off that kind of rasp. Yeah. I don't want it to come off very like baby blue, you know what I mean? I want it to come out very like more like. You're not trying to be the next George Strait. No, I'm trying to be George Gate. I'm just kidding. George Gate. No, George Gate. I know. Oh, I think it's Gates. People that I look after, ideally the people that I admire. I don't know if you know who these people are. There's Leon. She's amazing. Karin Leon? No. Her name's Leon. Oh, okay. You need to listen. All of her songs are amazing. She has this rasp and like this hunger. That's just like, it's perfect. I think I can execute it with my voice. So her name's Leon. We got Benson Boone, Louis Capaldi, James Arthur. Mm-hmm. You know, I love when they're like, they start very subtle and then they're like, rah! Like they start. I love when someone builds up the emotion and they speak through how they sing. Yeah. You hear their emotion in punches. I love music so much. I'll be there for days like analyzing all of it. So when it comes to singing and everything, I love it. But what's also amazing, not gonna lie, some of my writing is fire. Really? Yeah, I A&M University. I'm with one of my organizations, hosted a talent show, and there's hundreds of members. Yeah, a lot of people. Have you ever auditioned for like American Idol? I would love to. I feel like you would be one of the people that they would spend a whole like 10 minutes on. Yeah, like this. Yeah. Mark waters his grass every day. Mark puts Mark puts the mark in marketing. Yeah, bro, no. I don't know what we do, but no, like definitely, I would love if I could be selfish and worry about myself and stop caring about everybody else, even though it hurts me some of the time. I do that a lot, and that's what hurts me. I help too many people that it hurts myself at the end. Yeah, it's bad. No, it's really bad. I don't know why I'm like that. But you say it with a smile. No, it's weird. No, it's like crazy. But going back to like, if I can be selfish, I would love to pursue my music full on. You know what I mean?
You should.
Like, and that's what I want to do 2025. But I've never had a singing teacher, so I want a singing teacher.
Yeah.
Because I don't. That's the one thing that holds me back. People are like, "Why are you so like shy?" I'm not shy. When it comes to singing, I get a little shy, and I've gotten out of it. But it's because I can't be singing like I'm the shit if I don't even know shit. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? And or if I'm good, I want someone to be telling me yes, no, yes.
Right.
So Shelly Lades, which you just had on.
Shout out Shelly.
I interviewed her on the red carpet with Luis Fonsi and Jackie Cruz and Vanessa Vasquez for Say a Little Prayer. And when I met them there, just how we met, the same energy. And we just started going. And I told her, I was like, I love music. I just threw it out there. I was like, I love music.
I'm a star.
I'm a star.
Star.
I don't know how it goes. So basically, in the end, when there was like an after party, and I get in every after party, not sound ugly. And if I don't, I'll tell them I'm like the president's son. I'm like, oh yeah, like I'm with this person. I make up some names. I'm like, yeah, Jeff.
He's like Toaster Strudel, my dad.
Yeah, my dad, Mr. Chick-fil-A. I ate there. No,
Margie, she was my mom.
Yeah, Mama. Yeah, that's my girl. So, so no, literally, I'm basically saying no one's ever told me no. That party at that after party was so strict. They're like, no, you're not on the list. And I even had people that were on the list saying like, oh no, he's good. Shelly came and everybody came. They're like, he's coming in with us. They're like, and then everyone like already knew me because I did that red carpet and I left such a huge impact on the people that I interviewed. They all came and said, nah, he's coming in with us. And so they just like let me go. And it was so cool. And then after that, we just kept talking and I went to go see Shelly's studio. And when I was there in that space, I was like, it's so cool. 5 minutes where I grew up on the South Side. Love it. And it's very low key, but when you go inside, it's so like a studio.
I've seen pictures of it. It seems so pretty.
Oh, it's so pretty. It's all fancy and everything. It's like so small, right? Like it looks like an old little like Nagalito's house and everything. And it's like really nice now, right? Like just like very like painted nice. You know what I mean? But when you go inside, all futuristic, modern, like this, like it's super modern, like super cute. And she's like, she was just showing me her work, and then I told her like, well, can I sing something for you? And my ass, I was like, I'm ready for this. My American Idol audition was with her. And so I remember the whole time she never looked at me, like, because she was just showing me all the work. She was invested like I am with my stuff. And I was like, can I sing something? She's like, yeah, sure, mijo. She's like, sure. She put it on. And I was like, and she put on the song, and then I sang I forgot what song I sang for her. Oh, it was a good song. Oh, it's a great song. And she literally, I remember she turned around, she's like, oh, she's like, wow, you have a great voice. And I was like, what do you think I should change? She's like, everything's really good. I mean, I said, I know I probably do this. And she's like, yeah, you're right. You do that. We can work on it. And then I was like, can I sing you a song that I wrote? She's like, okay. So then I showed her a song I wrote, and she looked at me. She's like, you wrote that? And I was like, yeah. And she's like, well, how long did it take you? I was like, 15 minutes. But the thing is, it's not just a one-hit wonder kind of, not saying it's that good, but I have a lot of other songs that I like. Literally, it's a lot of hurt that I wrote that. And one time I had my ex, he literally messaged, he knew that I would write songs about other people and like people that I was in relationships with. He's like, when am I going to get a song? And I was like, you don't want a song. And I'm like Taylor Swift, because like, you get a song when you're not in the good. And he got a song. Don't worry. You got your song now. You got 3 songs. Shoot.
So he really.
No, but it's really cool because music has always been a way I outletted it, and it's cool to see that possibly one day it can become my career. And it's really cool to see when you look past the hate and you really believe in yourself, how it can become a reality of like your success. And like people are like, what do you do for a living? So what's your job?
I was just gonna like get there with you, is because I'm like, oh, I never really told people if they don't follow you what you do.
Yeah, stripper. Can you tell? Watch this. Baby girl.
A jack of all trades, that's his stripper name.
Real. With the right amount of money, I'll do whatever. As long as money or acai bowl.
Or kava.
Yeah, extra chicken.
No, extra, what is it, dill sauce? Dill sauce.
Yeah, for real. Hey, with $5 more, you'll see it in the video too. I like this too.
Oh my god, no, but like for real, yes.
Yeah, so basically what I do is I started with the mental health stuff. So when I was doing mental health, I was advocating for mental health, raised $5 million for the city of San Antonio for mental health. I don't know if you saw that. Did you see that? Yeah. It was pretty cool. I was like, I love that.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, it was a lot of work those years.
I know.
I was in high school. But basically going back to, after that, I remember I went to university and my social media was not like influencer-esque. You know what I mean? And thank you, HEB's marketing team, for stalking me and like literally looking at my hashtags. They said you put hashtags that were so specific. We found you, and we found you, and like we gave you the opportunity. I sent him my first video, and he was like, "Wow!" I literally, I'm not even gonna lie, I was like, HB wants to work with me. I was like telling my mom, I was like, Mom, this is my one opportunity. What will I do with that one opportunity? HEB said, we're gonna make a video and you're probably gonna get promoted on our social media, just the Instagram. At that time, being on their Instagram was a huge thing. You know what I mean? Like no one was reposting on stories. That wasn't a feature. So I was like, okay, cool. Like, what am I gonna do? Girl, if I show you the video, I was black. Like I was really burnt dark because I was a lifeguard. I was really dark, right? I was all oily and I was really chubby, right? And I even sneaked onto the A&M Kyle Field because I literally like lied my way into the because
you make shit happen.
Because I wanted that shot.
Yeah.
I remember I told the security guard, I was like, oh my god, I'm sorry, HEB, I'm sorry. I was like, I'm here with HEB and I'm making a video, and they're like, what? And I sent him the email and he let me on. And like I literally like went on the field and I was like talking about what they wanted me to talk about, and I was doing the most. Like I was changing environments, I was just high energy, and then I remember the team came back to me like, we love the video. Can you try another one? And everything was just a one-off thing. Yeah. Then next thing you know, the contracts were a month thing with 3 videos, and then they went to like 3-month contracts. And I'm telling you, HEB, like honestly, without HEB's support and sponsorship, I do not know how I would have ate in college, or how I would have paid for like things to like continue my passion in my own dreams. Like I tell the team all the time, like, thank you so much. And it's honestly became a thing where I had too much work because of that one opportunity. Then more brands wanted to work with me. Yes. Because they were like, it was cool, and like big companies were like going to big company meetings, talking to other influencers who have hundreds of thousands of videos. And they're like, we want you to make videos like him. And they would literally point out my videos to all these big creators. Yeah. And some of these creators would hate me. Would get frustrated. They would so like, what is this kid doing that I'm not doing? You know what I mean? And then they would DM me. And then we've gotten to spaces where I actually got to meet those creators later on, and they told me straight out, when they would hype you up about your videos, I did not like it. I was really and that was so cool that they can tell me that. Yeah. And now we're best friends because they were like, I'm so sorry that I envied somebody for doing something that was so good. And as you kept going and doing your stuff, and we saw you because we followed you after those meetings, I realized that you didn't care to like compete with anybody. You just did whatever you did. Yeah. And you're always genuinely there to help other people. And I was like, yeah, like, yeah. And that's one thing, I never try to be like somebody else. And what's hard is that as I got to know more creators, it was hard to not post things that I felt like I was copying them on. You know what I mean? And like it made me more like, oh my god, I don't want to post this because I don't want someone to think that I stole from them. But I'm like, I didn't care even if I posted it and they thought I stole from them. Like if I didn't have that intent, I didn't have that intent. But with now the community, I see everyone. Also, that's the thing. I see everyone's videos, like all the creator friends, and not everyone sees these stuff because they're not following them. Like right, yeah. I see so many creators making stuff. I'm like, oh, I'm never gonna be that good. Never gonna be that good. And then I started wanting to put less and less and less. Really? And my energy got less because I was like, okay, I can't be that. I'm like, okay, I can't do that. And then like, and I was never. And that's the one thing, I've never posted for numbers. I never posted for money. I've never, even to this day, people are like, you could be doing this to make money. I'm like, and that's one thing about me that's bad on me as a business person. Now I should be like caring about it a little more. Yeah. But at the end of the day, I did things that made me happy, and it.
Well, you can tell it really like the happiness shines through your content, but it's so quick. Like I love the energy is high.
The edits are like
You're
like, oh, he's naked. Oh my god, he has a new outfit.
No, but I love them though, because like, you know, when you're scrolling and you just like it has to catch, it's what, like 2 seconds that you have to catch somebody's attention.
Oh my god, it literally went from like the first 10 seconds, and then HEB is like the first 8 seconds, the first 6 seconds.
No, it's because like all you're just like, yeah. So you're good at it though. Yeah. You're onto something, but like, imagine
I have bigger ideas. I just need a team that can believe in what I'm doing to trust them. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I've had people that want to work with me, and if I don't like them, I realized that I can't just be super nice because I'm really nice. I want to give everybody an opportunity. Yeah. But I'm like, if they can't hold on their bargain, or because I told you I'm around a lot of women. Again, women. Remember, just in case if this happens, if I ever work with a man and they make you feel uncomfortable, just make sure you know I'm thinking about this. Not saying I don't like working with men. I work with a lot of women, so I want to make sure they feel comfortable. Yeah. So when I work with a lot of men, especially if they're straight, I want to make sure that they make them they make them feel comfortable because I'm around a lot of women all the time. Yeah. You know what I mean? So, so yeah, that's one thing I think about. Yeah.
Oh, okay, wait. Back to the singing though. Can you like, not like you're a show monkey or anything, but like, can you sing something for me, please?
I'll try to sing. I have mocos in my nose.
Ah, you're good.
Oh wait, I didn't even tell you about what I do on the side on top of.
I know, right?
Wait, let me
I
say that real
know.
quick. Let me say that real quick.
Yes, yes,
Okay,
go ahead.
so I have Living Loud Media. So Living Loud
Yes.
Media is basically what Living Loud Mark is, but in media format because people are like, I want edits, I want videos like that.
Right.
So they send me different places and I go and then I edit it with the same shorts, the fast, the transitions, everything. And then it became too produced and I'm like, okay, wait, that's not gonna work because people know this is like well produced.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the thing. If you're gonna do a well produced thing and try to make it well like a little ad, like an ad, you got to do all the way ad. You can't do
Yes.
half ass ad because then it's not
Mm-hmm.
gonna be like, oh, that was like kind of lame. It's just like another creator trying to be creative. Like you got to make something
Mm-hmm.
really professional or super organic. You know what I mean? If you
Yes.
do the middle, it's like, oh, he tried, but it wasn't a good try. Attempt, you know.
You tried.
So we have that, and that one's going really well too. Again, I want more people I can get on my team I can trust to produce what I want to produce and teach
Right.
them. And then I want to give classes too. Hint, hint, hint.
That's good.
And
Yeah.
then we have Living Out Productions with my productions. Is I've already done it. I going back to high school. I literally even produced my own teacher's gender reveal surprise. I told my friends, "You're gonna bring this. You're gonna bring that. You're gonna bring this. Where I'm gonna ask her what the baby is or whatever, and no one else is gonna know." She's like, "Okay." We all pulled up. Someone had a homemade cake. I had the class stop, and we had. She walked in. We had a whole decoration committee for her. And this, I'm sorry, my English teacher had a baby every year. Every single thing. I love you. I kind of want to say her name, but I love her. And like there was always a thing that like English teachers are always pregnant, and I love her so much, and she knows I'm like straightforward.
That's hilarious.
So she stayed pregnant. You know what I mean? I'm like, okay, girl, you're
Mm.
using that leave. You know, but I never wanted her to leave. She was an amazing person, amazing. I'm like, you know what? She deserved every second of time off. But yeah, yeah. I remember. I've always planning an events coordinator. All my teachers that are literally watching this can tell you, like, I've been planning marketing and designing.
Yeah.
So then, as I got older and then got bigger opportunities to do different things, I was like, wait, I know this person, I know this person, I know this person. And I told them, and I started realizing because when I go to Houston, they spoke business. And I was like, oh, shoot, this is what I'm already doing. I just need to change my pitch. And I
Yes.
never realized I was pitching. It's just what
Mm-hmm.
I always naturally pitch, even if I wasn't trying to market.
Yeah.
And so I started telling companies, you know what I mean? I'm always walking around. I'm always repping a lot of different companies. Like if you do a little like thing with me, I will basically be like your global face. That when everywhere I go, your name will be the first people I suggest. The first, you know what I mean? And
Mm-hmm.
so there'll be the recommended venues, the recommended like
Yeah.
balloon people, and then we figure out to get a contract on file to like consistently
Yeah.
set it like, yeah, let's make a contract percentages, and then yeah, yay.
That's so you do a little bit. It sounds like all of your passions kind of are looped into one in what you do.
Creative, yeah,
Yeah.
all of it's really about community, creating opportunity, and also creating fun experiences that have never been seen at
Yeah.
the calipers in San Antonio. So
Yeah.
I love that I saw the world. I love that I've seen different things. And I'm like, but how can we not recreate it, but also be it loud? That's why it's living loud. Like
Yeah.
live your life, live loudly, proudly, and just be expressive of who you are. And when you find genuine things that you care about, that outlet will come naturally, you know?
Yeah.
And so I also love this too. Find people that are better than you at everything you do, because then if you don't have the time,
Yeah.
you know somebody already to give the opportunity to. I can say exactly who I want to work with
Yeah.
that are way better than me, that are
Mm-hmm.
like, and again, if I have a job opportunity that's really big, and I don't want to make them or let them down, sometimes I'll outsource somebody else
Yeah.
to do the work.
Yeah.
Because if I'm not the best, why will I try to tell someone I can give them something that I know that there's someone better, you know?
Yeah.
And that you can ask any of my friends. I'm like, I'll be referring them jobs all the time, even though they literally want me to do it and get paid for it. I'm like, nah, they're way better for you, I promise. Like, you know what I mean?
Oh.
And again, my friends are like, you want me to give you? I never let them give me percentages of
Yeah.
anything. At the end of the day, we have to give a lot to get something back.
Yeah.
That's the reality. And so
Mm-hmm.
yeah, yay. And then the
Mm-hmm.
last thing I do is now I have by model. So since now I work with a lot of brands and a lot of brands want to tour with their little kiosks at different events and venues and they can't be there, we have Vibe Model. So Vibe Model, my friend Sydney Sweeney started it, and we met at a market, like a vendor market, and
Yeah.
she even told me now her company's doing so well. She's like,
Mm-hmm.
Mark, if I didn't meet you that day, I think I would have given up on my own dreams. And she's like, I'm so glad that I met you because you've put me in front of the right people to make myself an empire. And she's done amazing work. She's
Yeah.
like me, but for the model agency. So she's really getting girls jobs and opportunities where they can now do fashion shows in New York City Fashion Week,
Yeah.
LA. One of our girls is getting scouted by one of the biggest agencies, and like it's really good because she's doing that. So now I'm part of that agency where I actually get to select the models we choose, we get to work with, and then I get to pitch them to brands.
Yeah.
So a lot of brands that I work with already for influencer stuff, I'm like, hey, would you have any events that you're coming to tour with? I can
Yeah.
have my agency and you can select a model. And I love our agency because it's about being from everything to high fashion and runway to being organic.
Yeah.
Everything from commercial, influential, we can have a person identify with those needs for the client. So what I love about it is it's body inclusive, height inclusive, color inclusive, because nowadays marketing comes in the most natural forms.
Oh yeah.
If it's too curated, again, really professional or really organic.
Yes.
And if you're in the middle, you're just really bad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Really bad.
Yeah. So everything. Yeah. But yep, that's it.
That's amazing though. I admire the fact that you've got so many passions and you tap into all of them well. Like it's not like you're half-assing any of them. Because I think that's easy to do, right? A lot of people I think struggle with that. You start something, you don't finish it, or like you don't give your all to it, or it gets hard, so you walk away. But it seems like you really are good at being consistent with all of that.
And what I definitely would say, and I love being around people that do something exactly like me, because instead of making people competition for something that you're doing, keep them around you, because when you're at your low points and you want to give up, you learn for them. Like I'm telling you, I came to your podcast. Oh, I've been seeing so many different podcasts, and me wanting to do a podcast later in the future, it makes me realize like, oh, that's what I can do, or that's what I can do. But these are different ways, and it makes it more possible. What I mean is, if I feel like giving up, when I see other people and how they overcome it, or how they do it, or how they've gotten organized to keep it successful, you learn from them. Yeah. Instead of making them your enemies, you make them your allies. Right. And you learn how to overcome the things that were struggles. Other people that don't have that knowledge will literally just give up. Yeah. But putting yourself in the right places with people that are doing the same things like you, you're able to learn to get better, you know? Yeah, and I like that you bring that up, because you're right. Some people will just take it and look at it as like competition, and they won't want to befriend somebody like that. But I feel like I need to give you a refill, right? With more chocolate. No, it's good. But yeah, no, I think that it's good to surround yourself with people you can constantly learn from, you know? So yeah, I mean, I think your podcast is going to be good if you ever get to the point where you have the time. I don't know how you have the time to do all these things, but yeah. It sounds weird. I mean, even with my friend that's here, he's been with me a lot, and I think I've been around him. I've held a lot of my everything I got going on. Yeah. And because it's a lot, and I feel like having a friend like him, it makes me realize like I need to be young. You know what I mean? Because without him, he doesn't know. Without him, I literally am all business all the time. Yeah. People know, even in college, they would never see me like, "Where's Mark?" And I would always be doing something that's like something that someone 30 or 40-year-olds is doing. Like I'll be traveling to do stuff that is like, you know what I mean? So having people that are like just where I'm supposed to be mentally helps me like live those things out a little bit. Yeah, better, just to be young, because you are young. Yeah. I mean, but some people will say that there's something to like hustling hard when you are young, and then when you get older, you're kind of just like coasting through life. I mean, a lot of people. It's like balance, right? I love the deeper in age people. I never like saying older, so I say deeper in age. The deeper age. Deeper in age. I'm gonna start telling people that I'm deeper in age. Yeah. So the people that are deeper in age, I've had so many people come up to me because they see my passion, and they always want to just be a good mentor, and they're like, literally, and they tell me the best thing. As fast as you fire them as fast, or something like. When you know they're not worthy, or you know that there's something off about them, it's not going to change. And they say value and respect yourself, and that value will come back to you as you contribute to your own efforts. And also, to what I've learned recently, there's a difference between a friend in business, and a friend. You know. Yeah. And my friends that are my friends in business and my friends' friends, we now have a gesture just so we physically know. Yeah. Don't tell everybody. Oh, no, I'm talking to you like a friend. Oh, okay. I was they go like this. Okay, friend, as a friend, and they go like this. They go like this. Okay, as a friend. So me and Sydney do that. We're like as a friend. So like she's like turning friend mode on, and she says something. Turning business mode on, because business mode on is too straightforward. Yes. Especially in the industry, you have to be straightforward. You know right. I mean? Because you're not trying to hurt somebody else's work to hurt your image, but you're not also trying to. It's vice versa. You know what I mean? It's not to be like. You don't want to hurt somebody else's work to better your image. Yeah. Is what you're saying. Also, like vice versa. You don't. You know. At the end of the, it's not just about my image, but I don't want someone to misrepresent themselves for doing the work that they did, you know what I mean? Right, yeah. And I don't want to have to blame someone like, oh, that was terrible because of you know what I mean? But, you know that podcast that I was on? Yeah. She was terrible. Yeah. No, you're great. You're so sweet. No, everyone's been so sweet on the podcast. I actually like physical podcasts more. Yeah. Because the virtual ones I've done, I'm like, hi, and then I just talk. You know what I mean? The physical ones, I'm like, I can see the gestures, I can see the cues, I can see like the pace, you know. I read body language, you know what I mean? So if you want to dance, I'll be like, okay, I see it coming out. Oh, okay. Yeah. But if I was on Zoom, they can be like probably glitching. I'm like, okay, we're dancing. And she's like, no, I was just glitching. She's like this. You're like, they've been winking at me this whole... Like, I was like this taking on my shirt. I was like, okay. I said, so we're going there with this. No, but yeah.
Oh, you are such a character. I love it so much.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're starting a new year, and I'll probably phrase this as if we're already in the new year, 2025. Okay, 2025 is going to be what? Fill in the blank.
Okay, I'll say
All right, that does it for part 1 of Lady on the Street podcast. Make sure you tune in next week for part 2, and don't forget to follow me on social media at Lady on the Street podcast. You can find me on all of the major platforms. And of course, if you're here on YouTube, make sure you like, rate, and subscribe. Thank you so much for listening. I'll see you next week.